Sadio Mane, Naby Keita and James Milner.
Oxlade-Chamberlain, Ryan Brewster. Did I forget anybody? Probably not. Not really. We had yesterday a session and a few of the boys trained. We have to see how they reacted after that. And the only thing that's pretty sure that Naby will not be available. With all the rest, we have to see how it develops. Sorry, we're a bit early. Yeah, we spoke about injuries. Yeah, that's it pretty much.
With Virgil, though, there was a claim from Ronald Koeman that he's been playing with 2 broken ribs for the past few weeks. Is that the case? How's he been getting through it, if it is?
Well, look, I don't think it's. Yes, he had. You saw when he went off. Everybody saw it. When he went off, which game was it? Home, yeah. Southampton. Yeah, when he went off, that Birch would not leave the pitch without any major problems, I would say. So, but it settled pretty quick, and that's how it is. But it's football players have to play very often with some kind of pain. That's how it is. But it is exactly. That's not too important. But we're all happy that if he don't say anything about it, that then Mr. Koeman can, that he has something to talk about in a press conference. So that's good. But yeah, all good. He has no problems with that anymore.
Looking ahead then to the game, and we obviously know that you and David Wagner are pretty good friends. What have you made of Huddersfield's start to the season, given that they're 6 points worse off than at the same stage last season?
Yeah, maybe first of all I have to say the most important thing. Happy birthday, Dave. Yeah, it's his birthday today. 47, for people that don't know. I know with the grey beard he looks a bit older. That's like me, but it's only 47. The season is... there are 2 seasons actually they play in the moment. The one is result-wise, the other one is performance-wise, and they are in a good shape. And I know it's quite difficult for people who don't watch the games that you then realize that the team has 3 points and lost most of the games. That then you talk about quality and stuff like that. But I can tell you one little story. When we started our analyze meeting, and our pre-match analyst came in and we have a seat, and then he said, "They are much stronger than you would imagine." So that was his words, not mine. And because I knew it before, that's why I used the word trap. If you have a look on the table, then you can think one team 20, the other team 3 points. That it's a clear situation, but it isn't, because they had more possession against Tottenham. People are maybe not interested in that, but that's a big step. They promoted with playing football. They stayed in the league last year, and I say this year that's the strongest side and the strongest football they played so far, the best football they played so far, and that's what makes it really difficult. And how you can imagine, I speak a lot to Dave, not this week, but all the other weeks, and so I know the atmosphere in the club is still brilliant. So there will be an outstanding atmosphere in Huddersfield, and we need to be ready for a really tough game. They defend in different systems. They play football, and so far they struggled with scoring goals. But that's pretty much all. And how we all know things, we always hope that things like that change for ourselves. So we have to at least to think that it's possible that it will change for other teams as well. So we need to be ready for that after international break, with all these different styles, systems, situations, little injuries, bigger injuries, stuff like that, coming together, having 2 days to prepare a game, playing against the team of more or less downstairs in the table, and then it's like, wow, okay. So that's a big challenge, and we need to be ready for that. And how I said, we had yesterday and today, and tomorrow we need to be ready. That's the job.
Have you sent him a present, David, at all?
No, we don't make presents anymore. We passed that age, but. I hope I don't have one tomorrow, to be honest.
Yeah. I was going to ask you whether you're worried about David or not. Well, given what you've just said, are you more worried about what they could do to you rather than his own personal experiences.
There's no reason to be worried about Dave's situation at Huddersfield. Getting promoted with Huddersfield, I use the words of a friend, is a miracle. Staying in the league is a miracle. And now this year, if he stays in the league, then he has a hat-trick for miracles. And if people are now waiting for the third time and think, well, what are they doing? How people often talk about football, you can't help these people, but these people don't work at Huddersfield. So they obviously they came there because they found a situation where they work together in the best way they can, and they trust, rightly so, Dave with 100%. So, and that's all. And in this specific case, I think we can say that because, yeah, Liverpool could be managed by a lot of managers because it's an outstanding team and a fantastic club. But I don't think that any other manager in the world could have done the job Dave did with Huddersfield so far. Nobody needed Huddersfield in the Premier League, but now they are there because they did what they did. They lived their dreams still. And that makes it really difficult. That makes it difficult because I don't think they lose confidence that early. They will be. They knew each player who they signed. They knew before the season it will be hard. So they were ready for that before the season started, and now they fight for it, and that's what we expect. That's what I tell the boys, without making them bigger than they are, and not because Dave is my friend, only because I know more about the story because he's my friend. So, but I saw it, I watched it, and it's great what they do. And you see the game against Tottenham. We played Tottenham a lot of times, and we have problems. It's what is normal. But in this game, two situations decided the game, and they could have scored by themselves as well. So that's it. That's football, and we need to be ready. So I'm not worried about Dave's situation at Huddersfield because there's no reason for it. But and I'm not worried about us going to Huddersfield. But I have to say the things I see. I cannot ignore the quality of an opponent, only that people feel better before the game and think it will be an easy game. It will not be an easy game. It will be the opposite. And if we are ready for that, if we are at our best, if we do what we are good in, then it's difficult for Huddersfield. Then that's clear. But first of all, we have to do it.
Jurgen, just one more international break now, between now and March. I'm sure that will be a big help to you. Could you give us a bit of an insight into what you're able to do when the players come back? You've only got them for a couple of days, and how the Thursday and Friday pre-match differ to what you would do in a normal week when you've got, you know, the Monday, Tuesday, you've had all week to work with them. What sort of differences are there?
Well, it's a massive difference because you have to put a lot of information in 2 days, so you cannot do a lot of training. We get information from all the FAs, not all of them, but most of them we get information, so we know kind of what they did intensity-wise during the weeks. We can watch the games, if not live, then a bit later, and see there the intensity. But what they do in training, you cannot know, and we get a lot of these information, so that's one thing. And cannot ignore the traveling stuff that you really know how it is. If you fly overnight, you change the time zone again twice, 3 times maybe in 8-9 days, and we all expect that they have to be ready again. They are ready. They are ready, but I have to make the decision how ready they are. So that's pretty much. I would prefer, of course, to have more days, but we always had that situation. It's not the first time. But you ask now, how is it different? The difference is that we have to put more information in 2 days. We have more meetings in 2 days than we have usually in the last 2 days before a game, and we have to bring them together on one path again, because they play different positions, different systems, they fulfill different ideas of different managers, and that's how it is. And now we have 2 days, but 2 days is okay. It's not that it's not possible. It's okay. We did it in the past, I think, quite well, but we have to do it again. That's it.
It's been an incredible 18 months or so for Trent Alexander-Arnold. You decided to take him out of the starting lineup for the game against Manchester City. How's he responded to that? And is there a concern with a younger player when you take them out, that when they come back in, sometimes it can lead to sort of confidence issues where they question what they do naturally?
Which game? When?
You took Trent out of the starting lineup for the game against City.
Oh, right, yeah. And what influence that could have?
No, I mean, in terms of how has he responded, and also is there a concern that
You have to ask Gareth. He was with Gareth after that game. He's a fantastic boy. He's our boy. He's an outstanding player, and of course he's smart enough to take a situation like that. We have, thank God, we had a few options now to change the lineup. So if that's I don't think it's a challenge. But if a player is not ready for something like that, then he will struggle over a career. That's how it is. It's not allowed to lose confidence because your manager doesn't let you play 12 games in a row. I think he started pretty much all the other games before that. So that would be a silly decision to think about that too much. He was completely fine. It was his birthday, the City game, I'm pretty sure. So I thought maybe the night before the game, a lot of people will contact him, and around the game will contact him. So I didn't want to disturb all this message exchange, and Joe can obviously play the position as well. Dejan is back. Joel Matip is back. Would deserve to play. So that's why we did it. But and to be honest, and how always I think about the lineup. First and foremost, the players I line up first situation, not in the same moment. What will it mean for Trent? So it doesn't work really like that. But that was absolutely nothing. He came back. He's in a good shape, a good mood. He enjoys the time with the national team a lot. Had a few minutes in a very special game against Spain, which was nice. And so yeah, in a good situation, I would say.
Jurgen, I know there was quite a lot of negativity about the injuries on this international break, but can you take any positives from it? Gini's goal, Harry Wilson's free kick, and the youngsters that trained here this week as well?
Oh, since the Man United game, we know about Harry Wilson's free kick skills. I knew it before, but that was quite impressive and live on telly. Gini's goal is not a big surprise to this kind of game. I texted after the game with Virgil, and first with Virgil and then with Gini, and Virgil told me he should have scored a second one, which I didn't see that chance. So, but I told him. And so that's all good. If they would have been here and we would have played, it's not unlikely that they would have scored here. So I think it was you all made a lot of it about my comments about the Nations League, stuff like that, and people, everybody has his opinion about, but all the things they say is exactly what I think it's too much in that competition. Because they say now we have proper games, now we have that, real opponents, and it's better than having any friendlies and stuff like that. That sounds all good, but it's like you don't want to see, or yeah, maybe people want to see Joshua fighting every second night. Well, it's not possible. But they would say, oh, another fight, nice, this week and there, and then next week he fights in Leeds, and then in Manchester, and then he fights there. It's not possible. Nobody asked for it. In no other sports, if you play American football, you have a summer break that's longer than our season nearly. Sorry, but it's not that long, but it's a real proper break. In each sport you play, basketball, they have a summer league, whatever it is, and they come together. So it's everywhere. And only football, because everybody seems to be interested in it. Now we only have big competitions, and we can get promoted and relegated. And now when Wales play Ireland, then it's then they play for something, and the atmosphere in the stadium is different. So at one point, we only have to think: do we really want to have opera every night, or every 2 months, or whatever? So that's the question. We have to be careful. That's all what I said. I don't say I like competition, of course, but at one point somebody has to step back and think, okay, wait. They are players, they play it. I want to watch it, but if they don't perform, then I'm angry. So how can we make sure that they perform? That was all what I wanted to say. The Nations League itself is a good idea. Do it with another sport. So, because in football there's no space for it, from my point of view. But I realized already that I could have told my coffee machine, because nobody's really interested in what I say. It's still my opinion. I cannot change that. It's only about that we only have highlights now. It's highlight. So where's the rest? When can we have normal things? That's it. That's all what I was talking about. But if everybody's happy with it, we'll stay like this.
Scandalously overlooked Carl Martin. He's elevated about.
Just going back to Naby Keita's injury, that game was played on an artificial pitch and he was seemingly carried off on the back of a teammate. Do you think there should be more standardised level of facilities and equipment for international games as a whole?
Yeah, of course. I don't think it's a problem to carry someone on the back of your from the pitch. I saw a very famous picture, 1974, when a Brazilian player got taken out of the World Cup in Germany. I will never forget that picture because it was nice. So that's not a problem. In general, I think Jose said something about artificial pitch when they played. Which team? Bern? Yeah, Switzerland team. So do I think it's fair to play the same game on different surface? I say yes, it's okay. Rain, snow, whatever is absolutely okay. We are used to that. Artificial pitch is not a surface for football for me. So that's how it is. So yes, but I don't think that the injury had anything to do with that, to be honest. So I didn't even see it in that situation. And there was. I only saw the situation when he went off, but I didn't look at the grass in that moment. But in general, not only with African teams or whatever, each thing what we can do to make sure that everybody gets the right treatment immediately in the moment when he needs it. Yeah, I think we should make sure that is the case, of course.
Adam Lallana, you spoke about how well he's trained and how much you're looking forward to having him back available for selection.
It's normal. So hopefully nobody forgot how good he was before his little injury odyssey started a little bit. So and of course now he's extremely close to the team. But of course we have to make sure now and have to see how we can bring him in, stuff like that. But he will play. He will play first team football for Liverpool again. That's the best news. And when it will start, we will see. But he's a proper option again. It's good.
Anything from you? No? Richard? Anything?
How close is Fabinho to starting a game in the Premier League? I know it was difficult in the last sort of group of fixtures, but now it seems like it could be an option now to give him a chance.
Close. But I didn't see him. Fabinho and Bobby. Honest, no. Fabinho trained. Yeah, I didn't see him for 10 days. So that's not the best thing to judge exactly how he is. But no, very close. He was never far away. So that's how it is. It's only I spoke about it. That he needs to get used to different things. That's how it is for all the players. I had this situation so often. I can't believe how often. So I don't like to tell too many old stories, but İlkay Gündoğan didn't play half a year. The only difference was he was a young player from Nuremberg and nobody asked for him. So that was the only difference. So, but he asked. He was on a squad. He was on a. There were a lot of difficult moments. So you need to be ready. That's how it is. And at one point, I have to make the decision if somebody's ready or not. And we made already the decision that he's the right player for us. But then now we have to come together. That's how it is. There's no problem on that side. But I can imagine in that world, in a moment, that anybody asks you, well, everybody asks you constantly, wow, you don't play. So the player not really comfortable. And then for me, I don't care too much. But I have to explain it. But there's only one reason. Because other players fit better in the moment. It's one reason, no other. So it's not about, I don't make like this, and it's not important who plays on a position. I really think a lot about who plays on which position. And as long as always is a player ahead and is fresh and then the other player plays. It's about the new player to close that gap. It always took time, always, and will always take time. But when you close the gap, go and you make us better. That's the plan.
Good, guys. We'll see you in room 1. Oh, sorry, Vinny.
Private.
If you had a message for the Boston Red Sox after reaching the World Series.
Congratulations. I don't understand that game, sorry.
But it's all in-house.
I'm really happy they reached the final because I saw only one game. They lost it, which they thought they cannot lose that game, but everybody told me. But obviously baseball is like football. You can lose each game. And they did at night. And so I thought maybe it was about me, but no, everything is fine, and they're in the final, and it's great. I don't know, opponent, maybe. Never heard that name, these names before. So I'm in football, obviously, idiot, so I don't know a lot about other sports. So, but I think reaching a final is good in each sport.